So guys, I just had to share this little story with you because this is absolutely flipping bonkers. So recently I've been dyeing boots and stuff and handbags and things and really enjoying it. And I love leather. And so I was just thinking the other day, I'd really like to get. I started noticing lots of leather sofas and that on free cycle on Marketplace for free. Anyway, I thought, I really want to get a leather sofa and I want to I want to paint it so it looks like it's a quilt, squares, lots of different colours, and make it beautiful. And then all these sofas that I kept seeing that kept coming up for free, they were all like one piece of leather, so it would actually be quite difficult. And then you'd have to define each of the patchwork bits in between. Anyway, and then I just noticed the other day this beautiful leather sofa, and God, I fell in love with it. I love the colour of it anyway, but I'm still going to do this, make a patchwork quilt out of it. So my cat's leaning, Mr. Ted's leaning there. Yes, I want to do this patchwork quilt. Anyway, this sofa is absolutely perfect because it's in squares, so it's got like 24 squares and stitching, so it's absolutely perfect. I've put different colours in it. So I really wanted this sofa, and it's in Whitstable, so it's bloody miles away. So I was thinking, how the hell am I going to get it? And I haven't emptied my van, so there's not enough room to put it in my van. And then I remember my lovely friend Stephen, who I met in a field a couple of years ago in Kent. Anyway, and I just said to him, can you do us a favour? Have you got room to store it for me for a bit till I can come and pick it up, till I've cleared my flat out? And could you do that? And he was really, really great. And I was going to transfer them, and he said, don't worry about that. He said, pay me when you come and pick it up. So him and his mate went to pick it up for me today from this woman in Whitstable. So anyway, he then phones. When I spoke to him this morning, just to double check and everything was on key and he'd got the address and everything, he said to me, the next thing will happen is I'll break down. And I said, Stephen, don't stay shit like that because you make it happen. So what happened? He phoned me an hour later and they'd broken down a mile from this lady's house. And I was like, oh my God, because I wanted this sofa so bad. Not in a selfish way. I've created it in my head. I've already painted it and it's so stunning. I've just got to get on and do it. So I'm thinking, oh no. And I said, well, go around the woman's house. I said, and pay her and say, we just have to come and pick it up and I'll have to unload my van and I'll have to go and pick it up. So anyway, knocked her door and he had me on the phone. So I started having a chat with her and it was even more beautiful than I thought. And he sat on it and he said it was lovely. Anyway, this woman turns out to be really lovely. She gave them a lift down to the car so they could call the AA. And he's only just bought this pickup truck. And so in a sense, that might turn out to work out better because he'll either get a replacement or something else could have happened. You know how these journeys are all meant to be, it all works perfectly. So anyway, and then through all of this, I don't want to say this out loud, I'm cooking for a whole group of people. And I actually did think it's not this weekend, but this weekend after, but it's not, it's this weekend. So Sonny was in a panic today, thinking, oh, damn. Anyway, I'd done most of the shopping ready for it anyway. I just had to get some bits. And that doesn't really matter. But anyway, so I completely forgot that. So after then saying to this woman, we were definitely going to come on this coming Saturday. I obviously can't go because I'm cooking. So I thought that was really funny. So anyway, I sent her a message this evening and we're going to do it on Tuesday. And then we just got talking. I thought I'm just going to ring her quickly and say, I'm sorry I faffed around and all this. And I've got to empty my van and and getting the wrong thing. We're having a little bit of a chat. And our lives are very similar. We like a lot of the same things. And I was telling her how I wanted to build a gypsy Vardo. And then it turns out she was married to a gypsy. Then it turns out I then had this funny feeling because I kept thinking the whole journey today has orchestrated itself that I actually have to meet this lady in Whitstable. A friend went, that didn't work, and I've actually got to go to her house to meet her. And I kept thinking in my mind, why is that? There must be... Anyway, we found out straight away. So we went to school together in Canterbury, to Frank Hooker School. Can't believe it. I left there in 1976. And I was telling her how that was my favourite school because I'd had 13 primary schools. And when I went to secondary school at Frank Hooker, on that first day of term, everybody there was new, just like me. For the first, you know what I mean? I wasn't joining in the middle of a bloody term or anything and the only new person there. So we were all new. And those bonds for me you know, I still really love those girls. When I had a breakdown last year, you know, they were there because I was in Canterbury. I mean, they were great. Jackie was marvellous. Love you guys. You know, there's a real strong bonding, and lots of things happened to us at that age, from sort of 11 till, I think I left when I was about 14. So, you know, it was only 3 years, but like, we were really, really, really close, and always will be, no matter how often we see each other. You know, and I don't even live, you know, she lives in Whitsville, I live in Tunbridge Wells, and, you know, how did that even come up? But anyway, we went to the same school. So that was hilarious. And then I was telling her that I'd been given this kiln, and her partner have actually built a kiln and a workshop in their garden. So that's the other reason I got to meet them, because this is all I've been going on about, is building a studio in my garden, building a studio. And they did it completely for free with all sorts of bits and bobs, which is, I've realised now, all this clutter that I keep collecting is not clutter. I've always ended up using, you know, I've got like barrels and barrels of hardcore out there ready for a cement base. I've got 2.5 bloody sheds out there because I am going to build something. But it's all sort of coming together. I'm now actually meeting the appropriate people. Do you know what I mean? They've got an interest in and I'm sure they'll come and help me, and I'd go and help them do stuff. So this new community is really coming together and meeting exactly the right people, exactly the right time. So that was just bonkers. And not only that, we were actually in the same, didn't go to the same school. She said she was in class 12, which is the same class as me. And she's got red hair too, but we don't remember each other. It's really funny. I just sent her some photographs of when I was little, and I hope she's going to send me some of her, because I probably will remember. But she said she was a bit of a loner, so that's probably why. But I just think, you know, it's a really small world, and, you know, these people from our past are coming back in now. It's really beautiful. So basically, families everywhere, you know. Now's the time to actually pick your family, start adopting grandchildren, adopting daughters and adopting sons, and having a lovely family, yeah. She's got 18 grandkids. I think it's so beautiful. Anyway, that was my lovely story for today. Yeah, so it, you know, I've just went with the flow, and I wanted to detect why was it so important that, you know, the universe was setting it that I actually have to go to her house all the way in Whitstable to pick this up and stuff. So yeah, so cool. So, you know, watch what's happening in your life. You know, when a so-called tragedy comes up, or something difficult or whatever, look at it. What is this about? What's it stopping me? Is it stopping me going over there? Is it to make sure that I'm in exactly the right place at the right time? Because that seems to be, you know, it's the quickening. Highlander, woo. So anyway, all have a beautiful week, and be really witnessful, be aware, be present, be in the now, to read what's going on in your journey, because it's always, there's something magical if you just bide the time to find out what is this connection, why is this happening now. So it's good night for me, and it's good night from him. Have a lovely week.